What's going on, guys? Welcome to another review. This is your boy NarikChase on the scene, and we are going to be reviewing the 2019 incarnation of Tooth Fairy. Now, Tooth Fairy is a horror movie in which this family curse of the Tooth Fairy is being unleashed once again, and they have to figure out a way to stop her from basically killing off the rest of the family. And I've got to say, this is possibly one of the worst movies I've seen this year. Come on, let's go ahead and get down to it. Look, I don't mind the interesting premise of a family curse when family has to deal with a supernatural presence or some kind of demonic presence and have to figure out how to break the cycle behind it. And I think it's actually a pretty interesting and also behind this movie's premise, kind of the twist at the end of the film, I actually thought was actually really, really interesting and possibly the most redeeming aspect to this movie. Now, as far as everything else, the movie's pretty much trash. Let's talk about the Tooth Fairy herself. The Tooth Fairy has literally no personality, nothing interesting. The design is dumb. There are no lines. And I'm not saying that you have to have dialogue with these types of supernatural creatures, but just look at the creature itself. The creature looks like complete garbage the whole time. The creature lacks any kind of imagination, any kind of creativity, any kind of just anything that just makes this an interesting character. It is not. There's literally nothing about this creature that's interesting in the slightest. Every time I watch this creature come on the scene, I thought it was just really stupid, especially considering the method it used to extract people's teeth. This is a supernatural creature that's lived for quite a long time, I'm assuming, and just killing people for their teeth. But honestly, the method that he used to take the teeth out was pretty stupid. I even made a comment in the movie that might as well just be a demented dentist. I'm seeing more intense extractions from the movie The Dentist. So the overall creature itself is just complete garbage. But let's go ahead and just talk about the performances and the characters. The performances was subpar at best. There are a lot of really just awkward sequences where people are talking. You really don't identify with the characters much because either characters just seem just really dumb, poorly written, a complete trope, asshole. Look, the characters are just subpar at best, and really the only redeeming characters possibly the little kids, and that's even somewhat of a stretch considering the fact that you really don't know much about them. Everything is really going on about this really dysfunctional family, and really the family except you don't really like them. And a lot of the root of a lot of tension with the family members is that one has several of the family members have experienced prior uh, prior experience with this creature, whereas some of the others don't. So it's creating this kind of tension, whereas just things are just going on with these characters, and a lot of it is kind of hard to follow. Look, there is a bit of a decent subplot going on with the main actress and her quote unquote mother, which honestly the mom looks younger than the daughter, so that doesn't really pan out too well. But having said that, this could have been a really good movie, and honestly, I'm not a fan of these low budget British horror films because honestly, I think a lot of times they come off as being like just poorly executed, come off as a bit cheesy. I'm not saying aren't any good ones, which there are a lot of good ones, but unfortunately, this movie definitely misses the mark in terms of having any type of interesting dramatic flair or engaging dramatic flair. The horrors are just stupid. Characters react to situations in the poorest and most stupidest ways. People would not act or react to these situations like these people do in this film. Everything about this movie, outside of kind of the premise of it and the twist at the end, which again I think the twist was actually pretty original. I thought it was pretty cool as well. But unfortunately, not enough to save this movie. I'll have to say Tooth Fairy definitely deserves a 2 out of 5. I kind of want to go a little bit lower, but I'm not gonna lie that there is some interesting, some enjoyment to it. Just see the cheesiness of it. Either comes off as really funny, or just pretty frustrating. But me and my friends found it to be funnier than it was frustrating. But anyways, guys, that's my score for this movie. In the comment section below, have you seen Tooth Fairy? What did you think about it? How could it have been a better movie? And should I take movies like this that serious? And be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what we got going on this channel. But definitely catch you guys later.